So you mentioned a couple of things when we were walking. Did you say the East Side River
Yes.
project? What is that? What's going on
So,
with that?
you know, the great thing, shout out to Chris Senegal, because he's been preaching this ever since he built his product here on Liberty Road about the East River Project. The East River Project was a major developer, the same developer who built City Center over there by I-10,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's the same people who are building this. So they're building an apartment complex, shopping malls, homes, golf course. And so once that announcement was made, it went crazy over here.
Mm-hmm.
But not to the point to where, you know how some people have to see it done first before they feel comfortable?
Mm-hmm.
That's the wrong time to buy.
Yeah, because everyone's already done it. Yeah.
Chris Senegal is the one who did it really correctly. He bought it as soon as he heard the news and no one was building over here. Right? And so I remember seeing him and I ran up to him in my car and I had on my uniform. I said, hey, I've been watching you. My name is Andre, like a kid in a candy shop.
Like
right?
me.
Yeah. And big shout out to him because he talked with me and gave me the time of day, which most people wouldn't, and told me about what was going on. And I remember when we first bought the land, I said, hey man, I just bought this land. I don't know what to do, but we plan on building this and this, man. It's good that no plan of action or anything. So seeing what he was doing, and I realized that I need to get this land because he already had the blueprint.
Yeah.
And so when it came to, because I have people ask me, Andre, why did you build townhomes with no garage? People said that this product would not sell here in Fairfield. Ta-da. Ta-da. Right? And it's selling.
Yeah.
And we are the very first people to sell a $300,000 product with no garage townhome, 1,500 square feet in Fairfield. The very first. No one have not done it before us.
That's a huge accomplishment. And on top of that, you're bringing up the value for all the other people that are already living here as well.
Yeah. My question to people is, what do you do when everyone is saying no to you?
You say yes to real estate and you keep pushing anyway.
Yes. You say absolutely yes. But it's very disheartening when you share your vision and people say it's not going to work because it hasn't been done before. What do you do? What do you do when the people that you look up to, the people who are credible, the people who are the experts say it won't work?
Yeah.
The team and I have many opportunities to say, hey, they say it's not going to work, let's not do it. But no, we press forward because we understood the assignment, we understood the mission, and we understood the vision to where we wanted to provide a product with our name on it to the community.
Yeah, and even when you say that, it makes me think a lot of people, this is something that everyone's, deals with. They have an idea or something that they want to move on and they share it with other people that don't share the same vision.
Yeah.
Then they get discouraged and they don't want to finish their project.
Yeah.
And to me, or what I feel is that, God set your destiny for you, no one else. So, if it's meant for you to do a certain thing, it's meant for you to have a certain accomplishment, you got to be okay with the fact that you might share that with other people and they're not going to see it because that is for you.
Yes.
But definitely, I've been in the same situation where I'm wanting to get into real estate, right? And people are not as supportive, and I had to find my community and find my circle. And if you can't find it, build it. If you can't find it, make it. You know what I mean? And be okay with being told no. And still trying again, whether that be with the same person that you're trying to connect with later on or with someone else, but definitely not giving up. If you really feel strongly about something, having your community of people that you know are going to be supportive of that and that are going to continue to motivate you and inspire you to keep pushing. And then they'll be there, when you fail. You might have a great idea and maybe it doesn't work out. So take everything, I guess, with a grain of salt, but don't give up on your dream and your vision with stuff. So, this brings me to my next question. How is it for you with running this business? You also have a family. You've got, one little one?
Two, Chase and Skylar.
Chase and Skylar. So how is it with work-life balance has been a thing for me, and so trying to build a brand right? That's something we're both working on now. We're both getting into real estate. How do you manage your job of being a realtor to your clients and then also growing your business and, you know, keeping up with the family?
That's powerful. I have one word or two. My why. Why? W-H-Y. The reason why I do everything, right?
Yeah.
Let me tell you this quick story. I remember me growing, working at Centerpoint. I was a meter reader, so people who used to read meters, you know, shout out to you. And I was coming to work every day, making money, and I was moving up in the company. I began to build a name for myself, right? Andre, he's a hard worker, he's this and that. Then I got a promotion to where I was turning people's lights on and off, right? And I finally made it. I had a corporate job, benefits, money coming in, 401k, pension. I made it. How many people feel like they made it when they did that, right? So, got the job, got the position, and I'm just happy. And I'm like, man, I finally made it. And then I made a mistake. You made a mistake before?
Oh, yeah.
Any of you made a mistake before? So I made a mistake. It was my fault, right? So I end up driving, and I had to suspend the license for not having insurance, right? And I remember this lady was still in power, and I called the cops on her, right? And I remember the cops came, and I'm just standing there with my shoulders up, and I'm like, yeah, you about to go to jail, right? And and then the cop asked for her license, and he asked me for my license. I said, sure. You want my ID too? My ID with the company, and I gave it to him, and he came from out his car, and he was looking, and he said, hey, you have a warrant out for your arrest.
Oh, no.
I'm going to take you to jail. I said, yeah, well, you know, you got to do what you got to do with her. I'm just saying she's still in power. He said, no.
No, not her.
No, not her. he said, we got to take you to jail, right? And she went also for stealing. And I remember.
We all rode in the same car?
In the same car. I remember we both got in, and she looked over to me. She said, see? If you would never call the cops, you wouldn't be here, right?
I would have turned around and been like, if you would have never been stealing electricity, we wouldn't be here. No.
So I remember sitting in the car, and I'm thinking, man, you know, I made it this far. The company is not gonna let me go. They understand I made a mistake before, right? They understand. They're human. They understand I'm young. I made a mistake, right? Went to jail. Got out the next day, and I got that famous call from corporate. They said, hey, Mr. Beraud, we would like for you to come down to the office, bring all your clothes, and bring the keys to the electrical box. I'm like, well, maybe they want to verify that I still have it. Yeah, I bring it. So I brought everything in. They sat me down. I'm looking around. I'm like, man, it's a lot of people up in here, right? And then they said, Ms. Beraud, we're going to have to let you go. And you know how you feel like you're in a twilight zone, because when they say we're going to have to let you go, and it just echoed as I was sitting there looking at them.
Yeah.
And then before my eyes, everything flashed before my eyes, as far as everything I had worked for so many years. The company made one decision and took it from me. My wife.
Yeah.
Right? And I remember leaving there, and I remember crying and running home down the median, right, to catch the bus. I'm running, crying, sweating, crying, running. Not in that order, okay? But and running. I remember when I got to the bus stop, made it home, called my mom. My mom was so disappointed. I felt like I let my family down. My wife. I remember going back to my apartment. I heard a knock on the door. It wasn't Santa Claus, okay? It was the maintenance guy, right? I haven't paid my rent. I didn't pay my rent. Yes, I didn't pay my rent, okay? And I remember I dashed into the tub, and I hid in the tub with the shower curtain over me, as if a hurricane was coming, like I was gonna turn invisible or something. Yeah. And I remember he came inside, you can hear him going throughout the house, and he opened that shower curtain, looked down on me as I'm looking up on him, and he told me to get out. My why. The reason why I do this business, the reason why I do it for the family is that I never wanted a job to have that much power over me to where it dictates my flow of income, if I'm to eat again, if I'm to have a place to stay. I depended on my job to do the right thing by me. even though it's my fault, and they didn't.
Yeah.
That's my why. My why, the reason why we do new construction is that I never want to give another person that position to have power over me when it comes to my life and also my kids.
Wow.
So when you understand your why, you're able to endure and overcome anything that you're going after.
Yeah,
That's why.
That's powerful. And thank you for sharing
Yes.
that. I think that's so many important things to take from that, but especially a lot of people are wanting to get into real estate and they think they have to have a certain amount of money or funds to get into it. But the story you just shared, you're talking about wasn't able to pay rent, license issues.
Yeah.
You had lost your job.
Yes.
Now your tables have turned.
Yes.
So a couple of things to take from that. One, you can obviously start with nothing, right?
Yeah.
And then two, sometimes things happen in your life and it's so terrible right then and there.
Yes.
The collateral beauty of that situation was that now Andre is his own boss.
Yes.
And he's helping people get the same freedom, the
Yes.
same empowerment.
Yes.
And he's doing that within our community, which I think is super important.
Yes.
So tell me more about, you said that story, right?
Yeah.
And then where'd you go from there? Where does real estate come into the picture? Do
Yeah,
you have your license?
No. So I've been a licensed agent going on 5.5 years, going on 6 years,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I bounced back, because when you have obstacles in the way, you have two choices, either to stay down or get up.
Yeah.
And shout out to my strong parents for instilling that in me. So bounced back, went back to school, started working in the refinery, and I was working there for about 5 years, and then I met two guys at my job. It's almost like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right? One guy who read all the books,
Uh-huh.
and who wasn't doing real estate, and there's one guy who didn't read any books, but he was doing a lot of real estate.
Mm-hmm.
Both of these,
together.
both of these guys played a vital part in my success, because at one point I was just reading, and then I got to a point where I'm just reading but not doing anything, and I started doing what I was reading, and it came together. So those two guys, Joe and Carlos, played a vital part into me getting into real estate. And my wife and I, we bought a duplex and then a single family, and we got into the rental game first. And then I realized that the rental game is good, but it's slow money. It's like money over a long period of time,
Mm-hmm.
right? So for instance, we bought the duplex for $150,000 5 years ago. Now it's worth $350,000
Wow.
in Fifth Ward,
Yeah.
right? So you buy rentals for the rental, for the cash flow and the equity play. But if you're looking to do something to where you want to get a large sum of money quickly, you do the flips and the new construction, right? So we started doing rentals, and after that I realized I wanted to do something more, so I got my license for me to just go buy more rentals. But what happened was, people love the hunger and the tenacity, and they love the information I was sharing, to where they wanted me to be their agent and help them buy and sell their property.
Wow. So I'm thinking that you were just, doing real estate for other people and then decided that you wanted to do it for yourself. But really, you got into the real estate and you got your license for you.
Yes.
But everybody else was like, nah, we need a piece of this.
Yeah, please help us. I want to buy a house, help me sell. So I really got my real estate license for me to just go and look at homes and be the first one to buy, but it turned into what it is now. This was not the plan.
Wow.
The plan was for me just to go look at homes and for me to buy,
Mm-hmm.
and God had a different plan.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what's the end strategy now for you? Are you going to continue to do real estate forever? Are you eventually going to just have rentals? Or
That's a great question. So my wife and I, we have 20 doors, so we love the rentals, right? We love the rental game, right? Because it's amazing. The cash flow first of the month is amazing, and the equity play, right? We love doing flips. Shout out to my partner Ashley, who's one of my partners in flips, and J. Bone Krause. These are all people who have taught me the game when it comes to flipping.
Uh-huh.
So we love doing flips because it's a large amount of money that you can make in 2 months.
Yeah.
For example, Ashley and I we finished up a flip now that we're gonna make around 35 to 40,000 a piece on a 3-month project.
Oh, a piece. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right. And then remember everyone, we just started flipping last year. So Javon Cross was my first partner. We started flipping in January of last year. And if you was to go look at that property there and the property we're doing now, it's a total different growth for sure. But and then we start implementing new construction last year as well, right? And the reason why the diversity in real estate is that my mindset is that I want multiple streams of income inside of real estate. So what does that look like? At the end of the day, with me being an agent, I can get fired by my seller or my buyer. So my buyer can say, hey, Andre, you're not doing the job. I'm going to find someone else. Now, that eliminates my income.
Yeah.
Right? But if a seller or buyer fired me, I still have my rentals, I'm still doing flips, and I'm still doing new construction. So multiple streams of income inside of real estate. And that's why we're doing what we're doing.
Man, so that's like the real estate agent is a side hustle.
Yes, yeah. And I would like to add, we are top producing. We are on pace to do $30 million in transaction as a real estate agent.
Wow.
Yeah, so we have an amazing team for sure.
I mean, I know you do. I've met some of them.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'll meet everybody. But
Yeah.
So another thing you touched on, you talked about the different types of real estate that you're into.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned flipping, new construction, and then the rentals, right? And you talked about how to get cash quickly with some, and then others take some time
Yeah.
to just cash flow, you know, or in the equity. You brought that up as well. I've been hearing a lot of people say, or someone's told them, it's not a good time to invest in real estate. It's not a good time to do this. It's not a good time to be involved in real estate. The market's crazy. What do you have to say about that?
This is what I have to say. I believe that if your finances are in order, that you have the credit score and the money and the down payment to do a flip or to buy a rental or do new construction, the right time is always now.
Yeah.
If you are lined up and ready to go.
Yeah, you gotta know how to pivot.
Yes. And the reason why I say that is because as you can see, the interest rate are starting to climb down just a little bit now, right? So now what people are doing, like, okay, I need to go ahead and buy now. So then you're trying to catch the wave of the market instead of just saying, hey, I'm ready now, I have everything in order, let me do it now.
Yeah. To me, it's always going to be a good time to invest in real estate because people are always going to need houses. And if we start living in something different, then, you know, maybe it's not a good time to invest in real estate, but, you know, while there's a need for houses, there's a need for real estate and an opportunity to invest, I guess is what I say.
Especially when I'm flipping and I come to you,
Yeah.
Susie the Great, and get financing with Flipco to do our flip and working with you on getting the money for that. Working with you has been a smooth transaction because you're able to give me what I need. And because you are an investor yourself, you are able to see from that lens and understand the numbers and the CMAs and things that goes on. So it's a pleasure.
I appreciate that. For you guys who don't know,
Yes.
this is for the group Building Black Empires, but I'm also an account manager for Flipco Financial.
The one of the best.
Yeah, yes. We do hard money loans all day, every day for fix and flips, transactional funding, short-term bridge. So that's actually how I met Andre, our vice president. Shout out to Kayla Pellin. She is
Kayla.
yes, literally the best boss. I'm so grateful to be a part of Flipco, but she actually told me about you. For my interview, I told her about what my goals were for real estate. That was one of her questions, and one of my things was, hey, I'm already passionate about real estate. I want to help other people, but I need to be able to do that if I'm going to work for this company.
Yeah.
And just the support that I've had from her and the things that I'm doing, and her telling me about you. She's like, you got to meet Andre.
Yeah.
And she told me about her coming to the talk, and she was like, I was like the odd man out there, but you know, I felt like family and all that, and I was like, yeah, I need to meet Andre. When is this gonna happen?
Yeah.
And then I found out that you would be my client, and it's just been bliss ever since.
Yeah. Kayla did an amazing job at the all-women's panel. We had over 100 people out there for the Yes to Real Estate field trip, and she was one of the speakers, and she tore it up.
She does it every time.
Yeah, she did not look nervous. She was amazing and got a couple of numbers, and she fed the people some great information.
She knows her stuff. She's from Canada, so she's just an impressive woman. She knows real estate there. She knows real estate here. She's also, whether she knows it or not, definitely mentoring me a lot of times.
Yes.
So when it comes to you finding financing for these, now that we're on the hard money, are you always using hard money? Do you use your own money? How do you decide?
Yeah, so for our flips, believe it or not, we used to use our own cash, right? Until I found Flipco, and I realized that they would finance the project for us. Now that means that instead of us doing 1 or 2 projects on a flip, now we're able to extend and do 5 and 6, because now we're able to spread out leverage of funds across the table of 5 or 6 properties. So for our flips, we are using hard money. Actually, for our new construction, I brought my partners, Jacob and Moser, we're doing cash. And the reason why is because we did not want to come to the lender with no experience and no skin in the game.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm coming to the lender and say, hey, we never built before, we don't know what we're doing, but we want to use your money. Mm-hmm. Right? Can you imagine the high interest rate that we're
I was about to say, it's either going to be a no, or it's going to be the cost of money there is going to be a lot.
Right. So the guys and I talked, and I said, hey, if we really believe in this mission, in this vision, let's do 2 or 3 or 4 ourselves. Let's prove it. Let's have our accounting in order. Let's have our numbers down to where when we go, we know exactly how much it costs to build this product. Right? Mm-hmm. And now on our 4th one, we're still using our money, and now we have the banks beating on our doors.
Yeah, they're like, no, use my money. I'm calling you like, Andre, when's your next one? What's the next flip?
Yeah. So the new construction, cash, flips, we're doing hard money.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you talked about accounting and things like that. That just made me think, how involved is your wife with the business that you have?
So, the great thing about my wife is that she 100% supportive of the vision, right? It's very scary when I go to her and I say, hey, I want to do this, but I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Right? Can you imagine?
What does she say?
Right? She's like, well, if you don't know what you're doing, well, how do you know you're not going to lose money? And I'm like, well, I don't know,
Yeah.
But I do know that the area needs it. It's a market for it, and I believe that we can win with this product. And it's good to have her say, okay, let's go ahead and do it, right? When it comes to the color scheme area, she's the one who's picking out the colors, adding her opinion to certain things too, because the women are the one who buy the home. So for me not to input, ask her for her advice on anything that we're doing, it would be not smart of me and the company, because she is the brains behind it. So to have her give me support, even though she's scared, and I told her I don't know what I'm doing, is big, because now I can go in confident, knowing that I have the backing of my wife.
Yeah, that's amazing and super powerful too, because a lot of people are in relationships and they're starting their business, whether married or not, right? And having the support of your partner is super important. But you also said something else really powerful, is you're like, if I'm not, it would be crazy of me not to ask for her help. So being able to understand, and even if it's not someone that you're in an intimate relationship with, but understanding what it really means to be a team. Even if you're running the business, right? Like you're the captain of the ship, but understanding the important role that everyone plays, and understanding that you can, your business can thrive so much more if you're utilizing everyone's skills and you're understanding what those are.
Yeah.
And it's hard because sometimes people, want to have the control and stuff. And I know for me, I have to let go sometimes. I flip with Julian, my boyfriend, and
shout out to Julian.
Shout out to Julian. Yeah. But I can tend to want to be like micromanaging, right? But it's helped so much. So me just saying, hey, I want to get into real estate, and him being super supportive of that, right? And learning the things with me and walking the houses with me and us really doing it together. I'm blessed to have someone that also supports me in what I'm doing, so much so that they're, doing the things with me, right? But then for me to really appreciate that blessing, it's super important for me to understand his skill set and be able to take a step back and say, okay, well, he's got this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go focus on something else, and then our business grows even faster because we're both working on different things with the same end goal.
Yeah. You brought up partnership. It's so crucial to have a great team. When I was running the ship by myself, we did $4.6 million in transaction as an agent.
Wow.
Right, then I added a transaction coordinator. Shout out to Diamond. We went from 4.6 to 13.6. Right, and then I added Boss, Jenny, Michael, and Mariah. Now we on pace to do $30 million. I think year to date right now we at 21 million as a real estate agent. But it's because of us adding the team to where now I'm able to delegate and I can go focus on getting more business and what I'm good at, and then bring it back to where we all can eat.
Yeah.
The whole team eats, and like you said, we grow.
How do you know when it's time to add people on to the team? Like, how did you know? Were you ready for that?
Well, it's a great question. So shout out to our brokerage, CR Elite, Rayvon and Janelle. It is good to have people in your life who's doing it, that you look up to. Mm-hmm. And so they are able to see greatness in you and say, hey, Andre, it's time for this and this. So I remember when I came to the brokerage, they said, Andre, if you want to go to the next level, you need to add you a transaction coordinator. And it was hard. I'm like you. It was hard for me to release control because I was writing my own contracts. I was showing people homes. I was listing the homes. I was doing everything myself. It's mine. I don't trust anybody with this. You might mess it up.
Yeah, that's me.
Right? And then when I finally had a conversation with Rayvon, and she told me you have to let go. If you don't let go, you're going to run yourself crazy. You're going to overwork yourself, and your business is going to stay stagnant. So I finally let go, brought in Diamond, and let me tell you, Diamond is a lot better than I am when it comes to the contracts.
Wow.
Right? So brought her in, and brought in Jenny and Boss, and it's over.
Yeah. I want to know how can you help other people with growing their real estate business? So this was like news to me when I'm thinking you were, real estate agent for other people first. Yeah. You're like, nah, I did this for me. I'm just, giving back at this point. But I mean, you're not saying it like that. But I'm curious. So how do you help people now grow their real estate business?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I help them several ways, right? By sharing information that I learned the hard way and imparting it to them, giving them one-on-one field trips. It's a Yes to Real Estate field trip to where they come to the new construction, I give them a walkthrough. They come to a flip, I give them a walkthrough, or come to one of the rentals and give them the walkthrough. Yeah. And just educate and share information and knowledge that I have learned along the way. But the most valuable way that I give back is the Yes to Real Estate field trip. Mm-hmm. So that is special because it was birthed out of a no, right? So, I asked people for help and nobody wanted to help me. I asked for information, nobody wanted to share. You got a plumber? No. You have an electrician I can use? No. What about a framer? No. I mean, anything? No, right? And I realized, I'm like, man, nobody wanted help. And it shouldn't be this hard to get help, right? So I started the Yes to Real Estate field trip. And my first guest was Chase Beraud. Shout out to my son Chase. He didn't have a choice, but I remember him coming out and bringing him out, and I'm just showing him the flips, the rental, and we walking, and I'm showing him this, and all he's doing is throwing rocks everywhere, right? Oh. But here's the thing: it was getting in his spirit. He was hearing the information. Now Chase is 5, and let me tell you, he walked with so much boldness and clarity. It was funny because at school, when I picked him up, the teacher was like, yeah, Chase was saying that you do real estate and he's yes to real estate and he's all in. I said, yeah, he's my walking marketing tool, right? So Chase believes in yes to real estate so much that he goes to school. He's 5, everyone. Go to school and tell everyone about yes to real estate. He's almost like a messenger, right? So I remember him and I did a field trip and I was sharing information with him and I was thinking like, man, this is what it's about. Sharing information, having people to grow and develop to where we all can eat. So we did a field trip, and then I did another one. I think like 3 or 4 people showed up, and then I did another one, 7 or 10 people showed up, right? And then I stopped it because it was a lot of work. Yeah. And I felt like I wasn't reaching the people because nobody was showing up. Right? But here's one thing I learned, that if people don't show up, it doesn't mean they're not getting a message. And just because you're not seeing the people you want doesn't mean that your message is not effective. Right? You might just be ahead of your time or whatever. So I took a break, and then I brought in Boss and Jenny, the marketing team. And we started a field trip back, and I think we had like 45 people when we started the field trip back, right? And so after that field trip, I realized, like, man, we have something here. And then we had another one 2 months later, it went up to 75.
Wow.
And then one thing I started doing with promoting the Yes to Real Estate field trip, I started telling people, hey, we're expecting over 75 people to show up. You want to be here. We have some amazing speakers. And guess what? 75 people show up.
Yeah.
Right? And then the final one, the most recent one we had, and I think we had something so much special, was a speaker there. Oh, yeah, Kayla. Yeah. Yeah. So we had Kayla, and it was an all women's panel, right?
That was the last one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we had over 100 people show up.
Wow.
And it was all women speakers.
Wait, was that here? Like
Yes.
This location? Okay.
Yeah, no, it was here. It was here in Sunnyside,
Okay.
right? Over 100 people showed up, nothing but women speakers, and it was amazing. And now, September 10th, 2022, from 11 to 1, we have we're going to a whole nother level, right? We're expecting over 150 people.
Wow.
And it's going to be our first indoor Yes to Real Estate field trip. You don't want to miss it. We have Chris Senegal, one of the major players here in Houston, developer. We have Javon Cross, my partner when it comes to flipping. He taught me the flipping game. And we have Janet from EYL, Earn Your Leisure University. She's the COO.
Oh,
She's coming to speak as well. So Janet is coming from Connecticut, New York, New Jersey.
I listened to their podcast.
Yes. Yes. So she's coming to speak at our event, Yes to Real Estate.
That's huge. You guys gotta check these people out.
Yeah.
Follow them. Earn Your Leisure is a great podcast. I listen to them on the way to work.
Yes.
Soon Andre's gonna start his podcast. I'm kidding. I really don't know.
Well, I am starting a podcast.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
See, she spoke
Ashley,
into
so
existence.
sweet.
Yeah. So we actually shooting our first episode this Thursday.
What? What is it gonna air?
Friday.
Okay, so it's gonna be on all the places.
Yes, yes. So we're gonna air Friday, and we're gonna have Diamond, the transaction coordinator, Ashley, my partner when it comes to flipping and new construction, and Mariah. I call it the Yes to Real Estate DAM crew. Not the cuss word, but the DAM, right?
I got
so,
you.
so when you think of DAM, what do you think? Right? When you look up the definition, DAM is a form of a resource that provide power, right? And so these three women are powerful. They are backing the Yes to Real Estate brand to where it brings light to the whole world. So I call these women the DAM of Yes to Real Estate. They provide the power and the authority to take the brand to the next level.
All right, you said that's probably gonna air later this week.
Yes.
Okay, so y'all stay tuned for that. And then you said the Yes to Real Estate field trip is September 11th.
10.
September 10th.
Yeah.
September 10th. Is there gonna be like an Eventbrite?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll link all the details for you guys to go and RSVP. Definitely follow Andre ahead of time. Give him a shout out. Tell him, where you heard about him.
Yes. Yeah.
Give Building Black Empires a shout out.
Yes.
Well, that's great. I'm excited about everything that you're doing.
Yes.
I can't wait to see more of. You're gonna do new construction actually on another lot. Over
Yes.
there.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe more field trips in store for you guys. This is why I said follow him. Where can they find you?
Yes. So you can find me on www.andreyestorealestate.com. You can also find me on Instagram. You want to say it with me?
Yes to Real Estate. Andre at Yes to Real Estate.
Right.
Facebook. Are we on any other platforms?
Facebook and LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Twitter, TikTok, any of the
Not yet. I'm working on it. Yeah. I'm working on it.
Hey, that also, last thing, 2 things.
Mm-hmm.
One, you and I briefly touched on maybe doing something for the youth. How are you feeling about that still?
I love it.
Okay, so you guys let us know.
I'm in.
How do y'all feel about Andre and building black empires and yes to real estate, putting together some kind of workshop for youth to learn about investing in real estate? You heard the story about his son and how excited he is about real estate. I think that that's super important. We hear it all the time about how kids are learning what they're learning in school, but when are they learning about how to manage money, financial literacy? How are they learning about taxes, right? How are they learning how to be an active investor with the government in regards to taxes versus a silent investor, which is for those of you who are silent investors if you're working a 9-to-5 job, right? What Andre is doing here, he's actively investing with the government. The government gives a lot of tax breaks for people that practice and participate in the things that they are asking. One of those is real estate, right? So how would you guys feel about us putting together some kind of workshop to where your kids can come out and learn about real estate? Let us know in the comments. And then the last thing I want you to leave us with, give me, I said your favorite book. Give me your favorite book that has helped you in real estate or motivation or life, personal development, or you can give me a podcast. But
So can I get you both?
Yes.
Yes. So my favorite book is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey.
Yeah.
Right. My favorite page in that book was I think number 7. Think with the end in mind. If we operate with thinking with the end in mind, we will be great. For example, we're building this product. What I think with the beginning in mind, hey, I'm gonna build it. I don't care what we do as long as I sell it. Or I'm gonna think with the end in mind. I care about everything from the subfloors to the roof to the sheetrock to the insulation to the lumber, right? If I'm thinking with the end in mind, I'm thinking about long-lasting product, relationship, team members, everything. If you think with the end in mind, you will overcome a lot of obstacles and you will create a great product. My favorite podcast, of course, is Earn Your Leisure. I love them because they are a broad range of topics from real estate, investing, crypto, hard money. They talk about everything, and it's good to see people winning in real estate.
That's great. Thank you so much for this time. I know you're busy, guys. I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down and share some knowledge with me and all of our following. So I appreciate it.
Yeah. One more thing.
What's up?
One more thing. I want to leave this message for the people who's watching, the million of people who's watching this right now. I want you to understand one thing. I want you to understand that when you feel like giving up and you want to call quits, I want you to say, yes, I can continue and make it through. I want you to say yes to growth. I want you to say yes to vision. I want you to say yes to love. Yes to compassion.
Yeah.
And most of all, I want you to say yes to real estate.
Yes to real estate.
See you at the time.
Bye. Thank you, guys.